Hi, this is Denise of PaperKraftD, and today I am so excited to share with you this little quick and easy ring-bound journal. Yeah, this is ring-bound. Isn't that cool? I made this project as part of the 100 Days of Junk Journaling Ideas collaboration sponsored by RACH and Bella Crafts. The kit we're using in this collaboration is billet doux. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, hopefully, but it means love letters. So there's a whole team of junk journaling creators participating in this collaboration. And if you haven't seen the previous videos in this collab, I encourage you to go back and watch them. There's some amazing ideas that have already been shared. I'm going to show you some of the pages in that kit as I explain the idea behind this collaboration. This collaboration is a community-wide effort to take part in the 100-Day project. It's a way of working together to come up with 100 different ideas for junk journaling without one person having to come up with all the ideas themselves. In this collaboration with Rach and Bella Crafts, there's a different prompt every week. This is week 5 of the collaboration, and my prompt this week is quirky and unusual journaling styles. I'm also going to be participating in week 9, but I can't tell you what that prompt is quite yet. For the quirky and unusual journaling style prompt, I came up with this easy little ring-bound journal. Now, this isn't necessarily quirky, it's more of an unusual take on a ring-bound journal. This is a little teeny tiny small 4x4 journal, but you can create a larger size junk journal using the same method that I'm using here. I just wanted something kind of quick and easy that I could make and that I could start using right away. For this project, I used Rach and Bella's gorgeous digitals, which I printed double-sided on 32-pound paper. This HP paper is super smooth and feels so nice and luxurious in your hands. To make the pages of this booklet and as well as the covers, I used some dies that I have from Elizabeth Craft Design. This is 2223 Planner Cards 1, but you don't need this die set to create the book that I'm going to show you. For me, I had it and it made it easy to just cut out the pages very quickly without having to do a lot of measuring. All right, so I should be able to do, I don't know, maybe 3 at a time. Okay, so we have that one, and that one. All right, so I'm just going to continue cutting some interior pages. Okay, so now doing 3 at a time like this did not take very long at all. So I was able to just get, a whole slew of double-sided papers. So this 32-pound paper is perfect for interior pages, but I wanted something a little sturdier with a little more heft for the covers, so I'm using this Nina Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. It's 110-pound cover weight, and I am going to be cutting 2 pages for the front cover and 2 pages for the rear cover, so 4 pages total out of this cardstock. And I'll put the link for this in the description box below, along with the HP 32-pound paper that I mentioned previously. So if you don't have the die that I have for cutting the pages of this journal, don't worry, it's super easy to do this without it. Just maybe takes a little bit more time, but you just cut your pages at 4x4. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just doing one of the covers, and this heavier weight cardstock is good to use as a template. So it's just a 4x4 square. And now I'm going to show you how you figure out where the holes go. And I'm just putting them in the same exact spot that they are in the die. So if you have a ruler like this, it's pretty easy because you can just, you can see this is the center point, goes out 2 inches on either side. So 2 inches there, 2 inches there. And then you can just mark the center point and then go out 1, 2, 3, 3/4 of an inch, 1, 2, 3, another 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then cut that in the center. Do that in the center. So I'm just centering that dot right in the middle of the hole punch so that I get all the holes aligned properly. Okay, so then that's your template. And then for your next one, you just line it up like that. And you just draw, oops. And that's why you keep this one as a template, but you can always erase that. I mean, that's not too hard to erase like that. And then you have your 3 holes. So you do that for all of your, your papers that you want to do. And if you line them up and you put a little clip on it, you can do multiples at one time. And then if you want to corner around the edges, I'm just using the 1/4 inch corner rounder. I mean, you can. There you go. It's a little bit more work than using a die. So that's why this is super convenient. And of course you can use this die for your planner card box, which is phenomenal. But this is another way of doing the same thing. So you don't have to have this die, is what I'm saying, what I'm getting at here. So I wanted this project to be very simple, and there's not much that's simpler than a ring-bound journal. But I also wanted it to look really nice, and I didn't want to have a huge bulky ring on the edge. So I bought a couple different sizes of rings. Of course, the one I had in my stash was the largest, which I did not want to use, but you can see I have this pink one, which is about 1 inch wide. It has a 3/4 inch inner diameter, and I have this little black one, which is about 3/4 of an inch wide with a 5/8 inch inner diameter. Okay, and then I have this one, which is about 1 1/4 inches wide, and the inner diameter is 1 inch. So you can see our papers are only about 1/4 of an inch wide, so we don't need a big, huge ring for this little journal. So you can see how, if I put these different sizes on here. What the spine's gonna look like. I mean, that is a pretty big spine. This one's doable, but I kind of like just this little tiny spine. And yeah, I wish I had it in the pink, but I don't, but that's okay. We'll deal with it, make it work. And I can always maybe, I might actually use some gesso on that to kind of colorize it a little bit, just to get it a little, not quite so black. But yeah, you can see like this one just wouldn't really work. I mean, unfortunately I had that in my stash, but I couldn't really use it. And you can see with these bigger rings, these pages will stay in there. With these littler ones, it's going to be a little harder. So I think what I'm going to do is take some washi and just cover up the very edges of these. So I don't want to cover up the holes where the rings are going to go with the washi. I just want to cover up that very bottom portion where the little slots are to go over the rod in the planner card box. And that way the rings won't slip out at any
particular time. Now I could use hole reinforcers to do this instead, but I like the idea of washi for a couple different reasons. One, just because it's, I'm sticking with the very quick and easy theme here. I can just tear this, it doesn't have to be measured precisely. I don't have to get my die cuts out. I don't have to add adhesive. It's already self-adhesive. I can just add it, fold it over, and be done. And also, it doesn't add a lot of thickness to this, and I really want to keep a low profile for this little teeny journal.
And that, just kind of does give it kind of a nice finished look. And that'll just hold this like this. And you can.
So another thing that makes this easy is that I'm using washi that's pretty narrow. It's only about 1/2 inch wide. And I'm not at all concerned with perfection here. I am just, and I like the torn look, so I'm just not going even the entire length of each of the cards. I'm just kind of putting it on there and moving on.
That this was like 1/4 inch before, and now we've added some thickness here. So now we're closer to 1/2 inch, and that's without the covers. So we're getting closer to this 1/4 inch thickness, and that will also, adding that little bit of thickness will allow us some room for, doing not super thick, but some embellishments on the interior. And if, then it gets to be too thick, we can always take pages out. Not the biggest deal. Because we've got rings that we can open. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of some gesso to this. And this is just, I could use the white gesso, but I've got this tinted gesso, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. It's not quite so stark white.
And I'm just pouncing it on each side, and then I'm going to let it dry. And I'm not looking for perfect full coverage. I'm just kind of, getting a basic coat over the top. And I'm just going to do one. I'm not going to do multiple coats of this.
And I don't mind if some of that black peeks through. It'll just look kind of antique-y. All right, so I want this to be on the front cover. So I'm going to glue that down like that. And I want this to be on the back cover. So it'll look like this. Or, like this if it were open like that. So it kind of, it kind of flows across. I like the look of that.
And I'm just using some glue stick to adhere this to the cardstock. And just around the edges, I'm adding a thin line of art glitter glue, and that's just to make sure that it gets a nice seal all around the edges. Now I don't want to get too close to the edge, otherwise the art glitter glue will seep out and then you kind of get a messy mess.
Okay, so I've already cut and glued this piece to some thick heavyweight cardstock, and this is going to be the front of the front cover, and this is going to be the back. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that to this side over here, and then it'll go like that. Okay, so this will be like a double thickness, nice and sturdy. Okay, and so this is the back cover, and this is going to be the inside back cover. So I'm going to glue it to this one like this. Okay, so I've added these clips on here. I've put this, part where the hinge is on the back. I added washi tape to all the pages, including these interior pages. Oops. This is upside down. It's a good thing I discovered that now. So this is the front inside cover. All right, so this is what I have. Okay, I have not added the front cover or the back cover yet. So these are kind of off to the side. And now here's where the magic's gonna happen. I want to add a piece of fabric to to go all the way around this. Okay, so now there's a number of ways that this can be assembled. I'm just going to pull out my fabrics and trims and stuff. You know, I've got this piece right here, which would be really, really pretty, and wrap that over the top like that. That would be actually really beautiful. This is a little sheerer than I want on the spine, I think. So I'm gonna put that to the side for the moment. I've got this as well. This is a little longer. It's a tiny bit more opaque, and I could, you know, leave enough off of the edge here to tie a bow. So just then, you know, glue that back on top. I, you know, don't have to have it coming off the top like that, although I kind of like that look personally. I like that kind of shabby, kind of chic-y look. You could do something like this just along the spine, and that would definitely hide it a little bit more. You could do a more opaque fabric like this, and it doesn't have to be the full height of the spine. It can just be, you know, over those little round thingies. You know, so there's lots of different options. I've got something like this, which would look pretty cool too. Yeah, so, you know, just lots of different ways that you could do this. I really like, let's see, I've got this like this. I really like this little like round doily thingy. I think this would be really, really pretty. Okay, so I sewed this on here. I added a couple little things of stitching just to give it some texture. And first time I sewed it, it's right here. I don't think this is gonna fit over the rings if I do it there, so, but you're not gonna see that. So I messed it up, but you know, what you wanna do is sew it beyond where these little holes are, okay? You want to sew it beyond that, okay? And then it'll, you know, it'll wrap around like this. Let's see. Basically, I want this to go like this.
So you can see I'm just wrapping that little doily thing around those rings, and I want to make sure the rings are extended out as far as possible so that you know, we don't wrap it too tightly around the rings. I mean, we don't want a lot of room left over. We don't want it super loose, but then we don't want it too tight either, so that the book can't open and close easily. So it's really just a matter of playing around with it and seeing what looks and feels right.
Okay, so basically to like write where these numbers are, more or less, is where I want this. Okay, so that's good. Just gonna take these off now, and I'll sew this back here, just like that. So yeah, I want to sew that like basically right here. So I could add a little bit more glue just to kind of hold that down while I'm sewing. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go like that and then sew that in the same spot. All right, I was initially thinking that I would, like, you know, glue a piece here, glue a piece to this other side and then use this to tie a bow. But now I'm thinking that might be a little bit cumbersome. So I'm thinking I might actually want to just glue this to one side, like the back over here, and then like add a little button or something on the front here. And I came up with this one. I actually really like this, like just adding this little, it's an earring here. And then, let's see, it'll be like that. And then I, you know, when that's glued down there, I can just kind of have that like that. That would look really pretty, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I really, really like that. Okay, so before I glue this to this piece right here, I want to use a little E6000 on that. Just kind of, let's see, where do I want it? Probably like right here, like right on that portion right there. Okay, how am I gonna do this? All right. That looks pretty like that. Like I said, that has to lie flat. So yeah. There we go, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna glue that. And then, let's see, I'll glue this end. All right, I'm just gonna glue that down just like that, right in the, more or less in the center. I guess I could do it down a little lower so it's more even with that. Okay, that's gonna look pretty good, I'd say. Oof, this is not lying flat. Lie flat. Lie flat. Okay, so I just want to show you how I want this to dry. I want this piece of metal to be flush with this cardboard or this chipboard. So I want the gap to be on top, not on the bottom. So I think I'm gonna have to add maybe a little bit more E6000 to like this portion right here. Okay, I'm gonna just, I don't know, I guess I'll try clamping it with one of these. Maybe two of those, I don't know. Like that, so it stays flat. Okay, so I just took those clips off that were holding this down, and you can see now that this is very flat with this piece of paper. The part that is raised, like right here, these little pieces, I put over the lip here, so it'll close like that, and any dimension is going to be on the front rather than the back. Okay, so now I can just glue these pieces on like that. All right, so that's what I'm going to do next. Got this little thing. Oh, you can see I sewed some trim onto here. See, there's a little bit of stitching on the front and the back. I did a little bit of trim on here with some little sheer ribbon front and back, and I did this trim, oops, down here. I sewed that on.
And I glued that trim to camouflage the areas where the pages were cut improperly. The die didn't go all the way to the edge of the paper, and in some instances, the die cut into the border because I did print these double-sided with borders, so you have like a white border, and in some instances you can see I had a white border like at the bottom of the page, so that's why I put the trim on that one, just to kind of hide that fact.
Just like that. And you know, I have more trim here. I can add more stuff in the interior either now or later. But this kind of gives me a good base and a good start for more decoration. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing these down.
All right, so I'm just using the glue stick again all over the cover, and using art glitter glue around the edge to make sure that is adhered really nicely, but again, not too close to the edge, probably about 1/4 of an inch in. And then I am using a bunch of clips, as you can see, to hold the edges in place. I just want a nice seamless edge that isn't going to separate. Now I could put the back cover under a couple books for it to lie flat and dry that way. But the front cover, I can't really do that because I have that earring, which adds a lot of dimension to it. So I just end up putting clips on both the front and the back, and it seemed to work just fine.
It's a lot of clips. But yeah, you know, it'll lie nice and flat that way. All right, so I'm just adding some, you know, little pieces of trim and stuff. I want to add, you know, put this as a little belly band here. I'm going to sew up there. I want to add this one, but this one is like, with that pearl, that one's a little too thick. I think I need to add a half pearl there. So I got this package of, and more, but I can't seem to find them at the moment, but a whole bunch of really cool appliques and stuff from Cheryl. So thank you, Cheryl. I'm excited to use them here. But like I said, this is too thick, so I think I'm going to have to, let's see, I don't know how I can do this without destroying it, but, well, maybe just... Okay, I can pull that out like that. I love that. It's so pretty. I can either just use this separately, or I can take it off of there as well. I could just put these on there that kind of tie in with the pink. That's at least half the size of this, so that would kind of help a little bit. Okay, maybe I just put 3 of those instead of putting this back on top. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, that looks really soft. Yeah, so I think that'll work really well. It's a little less thick than the full pearls. So, okay, so I went a little crazy adding some fabric to this because I just love doing that. And I think this is pretty much ready to go. So I'm just going to take all of these little clips off and add the cover. Awesome. Yeah, I really am liking that so far.
So I'm just going ahead and opening all of the rings, and I'm adding the back cover on first, and then I'm going to add the front cover on.
Add that. And that. Okay, and then just add this one like that. And then I can close them. There we go. There we go. And I can twist this so that thicker part is not like in the center here. Not that it really matters, but I think it'll open and close a little bit easier if it's not. Okay. And then I've just got that like that. Look how cute that looks. I mean, even from the side, that looks really cute. I've got that like that, and that's the back. And then here on this, I can either, I don't know, I can go just like that, or I can, wrap it. Let's see, what's the best way? Like wrap it around like that. This, it'll face down. There we go. Yeah, that's better. A little bit more of what I was envisioning. There we go. Like it facing down, or this coming down like that. Oh, that's pretty. I like that, just like that. I can add a little dangle here, which would be super cute. And then this opens up like, oops, like this. And I've got this page with a little bit of trim here. Remember, this one was a little shorter, so that worked out really well. I've got these pages, and I added this little guy here. And, I can make some really cute little clusters using like these little people, little Tim Holtz people, little tiny people. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things that I could do with this. I could even add something like this to one of the pages for little, pocket things. I'd add this little trim here. I think that's pretty. Really love that. Add this little trim here. It just adds a little bit of texture, just, a little bit more interest. And I wanted lots of blank pages, so there's lots of room for writing. I could even add a little something like this, glue all around here, and then put little, inserts in there, little tickets and stuff. So that's another option. But I'm not decorating today. I'm just kind of, doing a quick flip through of the album. I love that. Looks like a little storefront to me almost. It's cute. I've got this really pretty trim right here. It's very sheer. And I've got this really cute little tuck spot in here, and that's sewn here and here. I've got this little tuck spot here, so that's really cute. This could be, a little journaling card like that, or it could be a tag, whatever. Super cute. And again, I like these little pieces hanging off. It just adds a little bit more interest and texture. I love all these kind of 3D effect pages. They're so pretty. Again, lots of blank pages just for journaling. I love the colors in this. And this, again, was a page that, I didn't have enough for a full sheet, so I just added some fabric here, or some trim. And I think that looks really pretty. And again, it's really easy to take out pages or to add pages. So, you know, if I have like some French book page, I can add some French book page to this. Would be really, really pretty. I just love it. I've got this one. Isn't that pretty trim? I love that. And then this is the back cover. With this little trim sticking out there. And it closes like that. And this is the outside back cover. Turn it back over.
So that Eiffel Tower was feeling kind of lonely, needed some trim. And I got all these really gorgeous trims from my friend Beth. This is some antique silk trim from an old dress, child's dress, I believe, and then some laces from, I don't know where she got the laces, but just some really beautiful colors. I'm just kind of layering those up and putting them on the little dangle just to add a little bit more texture and dimension and zhuzhing up that dangle a little bit for the front cover.
So I want to thank Rach and Bella for inviting me to participate in this collaboration. This was just a lot of fun, and I absolutely love this kit. I'll have links to those kits in the description box below, and you can find them on Rach and Bella's website. They no longer do Etsy, so they'll all be on the link in the website, their website link below. If you enjoyed this project, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment in the description box below. Every week, Rach and Bella are doing a drawing for some giveaways. And in order to be eligible for that drawing, you need to like and comment on every video of the collaboration for that week. Okay, so I'd really appreciate that. And if you like this kind of content and have not yet subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did so and shared this channel with your friends. I am really trying to grow my crafty community, and I would really love to see you back here. And if you are interested in this kind of content, please check out this video right here,
where I share more junk journal ideas for the 100-day project.
I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this is Denise with PaperKraftD, and craft on.